Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadow Creek Stables. My name is Gray, and today we are going to be going over my old Voltron OCs again, but this time we are going to be focusing on the backstories and the updates that I made to their designs, because that video is disgusting and I hate it. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, and I hope you guys like it because I had a lot of fun drawing them. And please enjoy the speed paint I did at the beginning because I thought it was funny. Once again, we are starting with the main character / old head of Voltron, Isley Warren. Isley had a pretty good life in the beginning. She lived with her dad and her two older siblings, and her mom was not in the picture for reasons unknown. When she was 10, Isley's entire family, aside from her, was kidnapped and or killed by the alien race who had started a war a few years before. More on that race later. Isley was then thrown into an orphanage and had to live her life without parents, so she grew up pretty fast. When she turned 18, she decided to go to college and graduated top of her class. Afterwards, she decided to join Supernova Academy as the first human since the war started. And now for changes to the design. Honestly, I didn't change her too much. I moved her mole up a little bit, and this time I'm drawing them in casual clothes, so I get to show you guys her dad's old hunting jacket that she managed to save with her somehow. On her way to the orphanage. She probably just shoved it in her suitcase and pretended it was hers. I did adjust a few colors on her eyes, I think, and maybe her hair, but that's about it. You may notice in the speed paint I totally forgot to add her mole, but I added it in later, so it's okay. Next up, we have Tin. When Tin was young, her parents unfortunately died in a tragic accident, which happens a lot out there in her desert planet. So she went to live with her aunt and her many, many cousins. As such, she and her sister grew up in a pretty hectic household. As they got older, they decided they wanted to explore the universe and signed up to go to Supernova Academy using their respective talents. Not much on the backstory front for these two, but it's alright. Things that I changed about Tin's design, I got rid of her little floaty hair thingy. I don't know. I didn't like it. I used to like it. I don't like it anymore. I made her horns more tight against her head because I didn't like the weird loose horns that I had given her before. So now they're more ram horn-like. And yeah, I don't know, I just like her now. She looks better. I might adjust the skin color again. Not again, but later on, but for now she looks just fine. is Tin's twin sister, Nage. Once again, when she was very young, her parents died in a tragic accident, and she went to go live with her aunt and her many, many cousins. So, since her parents were dead, Nage decided that she had to be the one who grew up and took care of her sister, because her sister was not going to take care of herself. Her sister's a little wacko. As they grew up, they became infatuated with the galaxy and the universe, and they knew that the only way they'd be able to explore the universe in a safe way was through Supernova Academy. So they signed themselves up, and here we are today. As for design changes, I once again curled the horns closer against her face. And I changed her eye color because I didn't like it being the same as Tin. I don't want them to be completely identical. And I also think I adjusted her hair color to be different, but I'm not sure. But now she has purple eyes instead of blue because, I don't know, I liked them. The amber ring kind of blends into the purple, but that's okay. I like her new design. Next up is Torduk. Torduk grew up in a pretty normal household. He had his parents, he had his siblings, everything was going great for him. Nothing really tragic happened in his family until his grandmother died. And then a lot of things started to change. The family slowly fell into poverty, and they just couldn't take care of themselves for a while. So, Torduk, being the hero that he is, decided that he was going to make it easier on his parents by becoming a intergalactic explorer. That wasn't a job option at the time, so he did the next best thing and signed up to be a soldier at Supernova Academy. He is using his new skills to help gain money so that his family can live. As for design changes, I darkened his hair a lot because I didn't like it being brown. I just didn't like it against the purple. I gave him square ears. I did mention in the old video that I wanted to change his ear shape because I just didn't like it. And so now he's got square ears. His eyes are definitely a lot bigger than they used to be in this new rep, and I kind of like it. I might keep it for the rest of the species, so his species just in general has bigger eyes, I guess. And I kind of like how I drew the tail as well. It's nice. I did adjust a couple colors in his eyes, and I think that's everything that I changed design-wise. Next is Norman, and Norman's story starts long before he was born. When the war first started, his grandparents fled their home planet and came to Earth, where it was a lot safer, and Earth was definitely more open to accepting intergalactic guests at the time. Both sets of grandparents decided to flee, and that's how his parents met, because they lived in the same little community of people who were from that planet who fled when the war began. A lot of people didn't trust them, so they stuck them all in the same little area. As his parents grew closer, they decided to get married, and they had him and named him Norman after their human friend who didn't judge them for who their parents were and where they were from. Norman got signed up to Supernova Academy on a whim because his parents wanted him to do something with his life other than be terrified of everything. As for design changes, I did end up giving his species a tail. It's not a very big tail, it's a cute little fuzzy one, but that was it. I didn't change anything in the color department. I do actually kind of like how his outfit looks, because it looks purple before his skin gets added to it, and then it looks more blue. But yeah, I didn't change much for him design-wise, except for maybe making his hair a bit more shaggy. Casey's story is very similar to Norman's, as her grandparents fled from the planet when the war started, and her parents met in the same little community where they were living. She actually happened to grow up with Norman, and she definitely became more outgoing than he did. I wouldn't say they're friends, but they know each other. She signed up to Supernova Academy because she could. She wanted to. She wanted to get back out there and make sure that the people who were still on the planet and didn't get the chance to flee can be safe. As for design changes, I changed quite a bit. I added her earrings that I mentioned in the last video with her in it, because her earrings are very important to me. And I adjusted her colors. I didn't want her to look like a carbon copy of Norman, because they look like they're related in the original pictures, and I don't like it. So I made her skin a bit duller, and I made her hair a bit lighter, and then I changed her eye color to green, even though a majority of my characters have green eyes. And I think that's everything I changed design-wise. I just really like Casey. She looks nice now. Next up is Agsei, and Agsei is the princess of her home, along with her twin sister, Zuri. They are the youngest daughters of the king and queen, youngest and only, and as such, they kind of got pampered a lot, but they didn't change who they are. It just meant that they were more sheltered than they could have been, and that wasn't exactly on their agenda. They ended up becoming way more adventurous, much like their older brothers, and didn't like dressing up and going to the fancy parties that their parents held all the time. So, on a whim, her sister decided to email Supernova Academy and sign them up, and their parents didn't know until they were getting ready to leave. Let's just say their parents weren't very happy about it. As for design changes, I did make the hair more bluish white instead of whatever I had going on before. I adjusted a couple colors in the eyes, and I think that's about it. I might have adjusted the skin color, but I don't know. Fun tidbit about the next design as well is I actually used kind of reversed colors for them. So her jewels are pink, but her clothes are purple, and the opposite for Zuri. Agsei, Zuri is the youngest daughter of the king and queen, the only daughters of the king and queen, but the only difference that she has from her sister is the fact that Zuri is the youngest twin, and that's not exactly her favorite part to tell people. Zuri began to become way more adventurous than Agsei ever was because she just didn't like being the youngest. And the only way she could not feel like the youngest is with her brothers, who just treated her like any other sibling. So she showed a lot more disdain for the fancy parties that her parents held, and it was her fault that they got signed up to the academy in the first place. Let's just say she got a very stern talking to from her parents after they found out. As for design changes, once again, her hair is more bluish white, and I might have adjusted her skin color, unsure, and her eyes did get changes. I did eventually decide what the little knot on the top of her head is. It's actually a ponytail, not a bun, because her sister has the space buns, so I thought it would be nice for her to have a ponytail instead. And like I mentioned with Agsei, their colors are reversed. She has purple jewels and pink clothes, while Agsei has purple clothes and pink jewels. And here we have it. Here are all the updated designs of all my old characters. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please give it a like if you did. If you are not subscribed, please do, because I do content like this a lot. I don't usually do commentary, but I do speed paints quite a lot. I've been posting them more often. As for those of you who are wondering where the next few episodes of A New Home are, I promise they're in the works. I'm just trying to get the script finished. And this will be the last season, promise. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!